WLNS is here for you with 6 News at 11.
After decades without any action on gun control, the president signs a reform bill into law. It's our top story at 11. Thanks for joining us. I'm Darylyn Horn. Whether you agree what's in it or not, there's little doubt that the bill signed into law by President Joe Biden this morning is the most significant gun control bill in almost 30 years. The action comes weeks after mass shootings at a grocery store in Buffalo and an elementary school in Uvalde, Texas. Those events paved the way for the Senate to put together a compromise on the topic. It expands some background checks and it bars more domestic violence offenders from buying guns. It also increases federal support for school security programs. The Senate passed it Thursday, the House passed it Friday, and President Biden says he was eager to sign it today.
Their message to us was do something. I don't know how many times we heard that. Just do something. For God's sake, just do something. Well, today we did. While this bill doesn't do everything I want, it does include actions I've long called for that are going to save lives.
Reaction to the massive legislation package is also being seen here in Michigan. Gun control and gun rights groups are evaluating different outlooks on what this law may mean for shootings in this country. Josh Sanchez is here for you now with more. Josh.
Darylyn, the activists I spoke with have been closely watching Washington this week, both because of this law and a Supreme Court case reviewing a gun law out of New York. Both tell me they see a turning point in the national debate.
We've been trying, so hard to get stuff done. It's been 26 years almost since meaningful gun legislation was passed in the Senate. And so this is huge. And we're really grateful that our country and our elected officials are going to put the safety of our communities first.
Reverend Christine Fawcett is with Moms Demand Action of Greater Lansing. She says the signing of the bipartisan Safer Communities Act is a step forward with measures to extend background checks for buyers under 21 and incentivizing states to enact red flag laws. She says it marks a new chapter for national gun control.
When the Uvalde shooting happened, a lot of the activists were saying it feels different this time. It feels like we're all finally saying enough. And so I do think this is great forward momentum.
On the other side of the aisle, Tom Lambert with Michigan Open Carry says the law's portion that directly deals with gun policy does little and has the chance of legal battles ahead, especially with the red flag law incentives.
I don't want to say every case because sometimes there might be some reasonable justification, but for someone to lose a fundamental individual constitutional right without committing a crime, that's pretty significant.
The act does come with funding to increase school security and mental health care. Lambert says he's cautiously optimistic. He says there are signs of a changing tide in gun control, not from Capitol Hill, but from the Supreme Court.
A lot of these laws that we have on the books today will pass constitutional muster. Not all of them will. Which ones? Again, we'll see.
Now, this signing comes days after the Supreme Court struck down a New York law that limited carrying guns outside of the home. Lambert says he expects the ruling to be used to challenge several gun laws. Darylyn, back to you.
Thanks, Josh. While abortion rights are on many people's minds, so is gay pride. June is Pride Month and celebrations took place all across mid-Michigan this weekend. In fact, one took place in East Lansing where the Spartan Housing Cooperative held an event. They used downtown East Lansing to host local vendors and show off pride decorations. There was also a drag show. Organizers say they look forward to creating an inviting space for everyone. And the Pride celebrations don't stop there. More events are scheduled for tomorrow as well. There's a rally at the Capitol from noon until 2 o'clock. Speakers at the event will include Michigan Attorney General Dana Nessel. There will be artists and people sharing their stories, and a group called the Equity Task Force will host a picnic on Sunday afternoon. It starts at 1 o'clock and takes place at Hayes Park in Mason. That event will include food trucks, ice cream, and a magician. It's the group's second annual picnic. But unfortunately, it hasn't been fun and games all weekend. That's after 2 people were killed and 20 people were injured at a shooting at a popular gay club in a bar in Norway. It happened just earlier today at the London pub in Oslo. Police caught the person they believe is responsible for the shooting. And although it happened at a gay bar during Pride weekend, police haven't said what the motive for the attack was. The shooting led organizers of Oslo Pride to cancel their parade, but that didn't stop people from celebrating. Thousands started a spontaneous march waving rainbow flags and walking the city's streets while chanting, "We're here, we're queer, we won't disappear." Dozens of protests are taking place across the country a day after the Supreme Court decision to eliminate the constitutional right to an abortion. The U.S. Department of Homeland Security is warning threats of political violence against judges and state officials could happen. Serena Marshall reports from outside the Supreme Court.
Protesters, both for and against abortion rights, were back out in front of the Supreme Court Saturday.
I choose life. What do you choose?
I choose whatever I choose.
Thank you.
Joseph Ross demonstrated with and for his wife Jessica and their baby daughter.
Because, I mean, she almost died during her pregnancy. We had so many different times where we didn't think the pregnancy was going to be viable, and that was something that we were going to have to look at.
My body, my choice!
Demonstrators are taking to the streets in more than 50 cities throughout the weekend.
It is about babies. It's about her rights. It's about my rights. It's about making sure that she and I have the life that we deserve to have. 26
states petitioned the court to overturn Roe. 13 already have laws on the books that would ban abortion almost immediately. The others are poised to ban or greatly restrict it. In states where abortion is still legal, they're gearing up to offer reproductive health care to an influx of people crossing state lines, and these protesters say they're ready to help. In Minnesota, Governor Tim Walz signed an executive order meant to protect Minnesota abortion services from laws in neighboring states.
You've got a family member in Texas who calls and asks what you can do to help them. That phone call subjects you to Texas felony laws for aiding and abetting someone to make their own personal health care decision. We will stand for every single person to the fullest extent of the law to make sure that that never happens in Minnesota.
CBS News has obtained a memo from the U.S. Department of Homeland Security warning that threats of political violence, particularly against judges and state officials, will likely intensify. Friday night in Phoenix, police fired tear gas from the windows of the Arizona Capitol building to disperse hundreds of people demonstrating outside. Some had banged on the door, sending lawmakers into the basement for 20 minutes. And in Longmont, Colorado, this still operating abortion clinic was set on fire and vandalized.
And be sure to stay with 6 News on air, online, and through our 6 News app as we continue to bring you the latest on this historic Supreme Court decision and the reaction to it.
From Storm Tracker 6, this is Weather First, sponsored by Auto Owners Insurance. Simple human sense.
Well, throughout the vast majority of your Saturday, we were able to remain dry, but we do have some rain showers moving into the area. It's only a brief return that these rain showers are going to have the ability to make. By the time we get into Monday, another high-pressure system will be moving into the area, and that's going to kick off another stretch of dry weather that we get to enjoy. High temperatures for today felt awfully nice. We reached a high right around 89 degrees here in Lansing. Similar temperatures were recorded down in Jackson. 88 was the high temperature for your Saturday in St. John's, and 87 for both Mason and Charlotte. It was a little bit cooler for your Saturday down in Hillsdale, but still fairly nice nonetheless. Our current temperatures right now still awfully nice. 69 degrees for the majority of us surrounding the Lansing area. 71 current temperature up in St. John's, and 70 degrees current conditions down in Hillsdale. Satellite and radar for us right now remaining fairly quiet. This is our next system that we're looking at. This is going to bring some rain showers as we move throughout the rest of the overnight hours tonight, and they're still going to be in play as we move throughout the early morning hours of the day tomorrow. Now, on the other side of this system, we still have a lovely high pressure system that's going to kick off again another stretch of dry weather we get to enjoy, but it also comes along with some cooler temperatures. We have not one but 2 cold fronts that are going to be passing through the area. Good news is they're not going to kick off any precipitation. Rain showers will move out of here by the time we get into the early morning hours of the day tomorrow. We will wake up to some mostly cloudy conditions, but it will leave fairly quickly, so sunny conditions on tap for your Sunday, and it's going to carry over even as we move throughout the day on Monday and Tuesday as well. So absolutely perfect summer-like conditions that we get the chance to enjoy. In terms of how much rain we're expecting tonight, really not going to be a lot. Most of us should remain well below that 1/4 of an inch mark. Mainly trace amounts expected for us here in mid-Michigan. And even though Precision Cast Rain says that St. John's is in the clear, again, still the potential for an isolated rain shower in the area. For tonight, overnight lows only falling down to 70 degrees with relatively calm wind speeds in place. Scattered rain showers continuing. But for tomorrow, a similar feel to what we experienced throughout the day today. day, but cloud cover is going to be just a little bit lighter. High temperatures all the way up to 82 degrees, and your 6-day forecast absolutely beautiful once we get past tomorrow morning. A little bit of a dip in our temperature, 75 degrees forecasted high on Monday, and then we slowly begin to climb right back up to 91 degrees possible on Thursday. Our next chance of rain is going to be as we move throughout the evening hours of the day on Friday. Potential for some scattered rain showers and thunderstorms, of course. We'll continue to keep you updated on that. But all eyes are going to move to next Monday. 4th of July looks absolutely beautiful. Lovely stretch of dry weather moves in yet again. Lots of sunshine, and our high temperatures by then will be in the low 80s to even 87 degrees possible for 4th of July.
Sounds good. Thanks, Kendall. Still ahead, we'll talk about a couple of nasty car accidents, including one that sent a car into a house. We'll have the details on that story when 6 News at 11 continues. An update tonight on the boil water advisory in Meridian Township. That order has now been lifted. The order started on Thursday after a huge water main break that forced residents of Hazlitt, Okemos, and even a tiny part of East Lansing to use boiled or bottled water for drinking, brushing their teeth, and even for their pets. The order, which was supposed to end at 10 a.m., was pushed back to 5:30 tonight, and township officials say it expired at that time. One person is dead after a car accident overnight, and police say 2 cars crashed into each other, and the force of the crash knocked one of the cars into a house. Take a look at your screen. It happened around 1:30 this morning near the intersection of South Washington and Northrop Street in Lansing. The crash killed a 29-year-old driver of one of the cars. This forced the family in the house to evacuate because the accident caused a gas leak. Police had to close the intersection and ordered neighbors to stay in their homes. Luckily, the family in the house that was hit did escape without any injuries. The driver of the second car was taken to a local hospital. He is stable and is expected to survive. And Michigan State Police say a 22-year-old died in a separate accident about an hour later. It happened near the intersection of County Farm Road and Wellman Road in Sandstone Township. They say Gavin Michael Putnam from Parma ran off the road and died from injuries he suffered in the crash. Police do believe alcohol played a factor. Now coming up on 6 News, it was a beautiful day to be outside and out and about. We'll take a closer look at a few community events, including one that celebrated a special group of locals. But first, here's a look at tonight's lottery numbers. Good luck. It was a beautiful day for lots of community celebrations today, including the Black Girl Day of Play at the Capitol. It focuses on celebrating and empowering Black women. Grit, Glam, and Guts hosted the event. They've hosted similar events in the past, but today was the first time it was held at the state capitol. Setups were placed throughout the lawn, including Double Judge, Giant Connect 4, and Black-owned vendors, all in an effort to support and empower women of color. Organizers say this was a once-in-a-lifetime experience to bring an event like this to the Capitol.
I've never seen a celebration, especially in the Lansing area, specifically geared towards celebrating Black women and girls. And so I feel that it's special because it is unique, it is one of a kind in this area, but also, again, when you have something that is just for you, right, you have a different type of feeling. You walk away with a different type of joy and happiness when you have something that is made just for you.
The Black Girls Day of Play event replaces the annual Grit, Glam, and Guts conference, which normally takes place at Michigan State University. Also this weekend, the Celebrate Meridian Festival is back for the first time in 3 years. Festivities kicked off this morning with the farmers market and live music. There were also children's activities, historical village tours, food vendors, a business expo, and fireworks. Organizers say as many as 5,000 people took part in today's celebration.
Locations such as this venue provides an opportunity to gather in a safer environment for folks, and we're just real excited. People are ready to get back socializing again, and we're just so excited to be able to offer this once again.
And the fun doesn't stop there. The 35th annual Michigan Challenge Balloon Fest also made a comeback. COVID forced the event to cancel in 2020. It was back in limited fashion last year, but bad weather forced organizers to cancel a bunch of flights. But this time around, this weather was great, and there was lots to do, including an all-day carnival, an arts festival, and the balloon launch took place earlier tonight. After it got dark, there was even a balloon glow. The event continues with a fly-in tomorrow morning and another launch tomorrow night. The Balloon Fest isn't the only party going on in mid-Michigan. Williamson's Red Cedar Jubilee continued today and will run through the weekend. Highlights today included a car show, antique car rides, the Grand Parade, and the always popular Duck Drop. There's also a food and beverage tent for attendees. The rest of the weekend includes pancake breakfast and golf outings and a tractor pull. Now, local TV stations know that people love videos of cute babies and dogs, but tonight we're going to show you the opposite. And here's a warning, because we're about to show you the ugliest dog in the world.
And here we go. The ugliest dog in the world, Mr. Happy Face.
Here's a dog that only his mother could love. Mr. Happy Face has a crooked head, a hairless body, his pimply texture. He hobbles, he snorts when he breathes, and his tongue hangs out his mouth. The shelter where he was rescued told his owner that it looked more like an alien than a dog, and the judges agreed. His owner says Mr. Happy Face has an inner beauty and that he's the world's most lovable dog.
That dog is ugly. That dog is hideous.
That dog is. I don't know if that should be celebrated. It's kind of mean, but
everybody do your thing.
It's the inner beauty that counts.
There you go.
Our Nick Mantis joins us now with a look at sports. And Nick, the Detroit Lions training camp starts in a month.
Darylyn, believe it or not, less than a month. I know summer just started, but football season is right around the corner, and we're going to hear from one of the Lions coaches on molding his younger players. Plus, a football summer camp, which is run by a local NFL stars, had a huge attendance this morning. Our Ian Kress was there and has full details when we come back.